Hey, I'm Kai, and today I'm checking out ENGL's newest pedal, the Fireball IR. This is one that I am incredibly excited to be demoing because it's just got so much potential. It's a 2-channel preamp pedal with IR loading, a mid-boost switch, as well as a noise gate. It is of course based on the ENGL Fireball series of amplifiers. Let's start by hearing this one in the context of a full mix. I'll give a quick run through of all of the controls and dials on this pedal as well as some of the features before I get into dialing in some more specific tones so that we have a little bit more context to go from. For the rig in this demo, I'm mainly going to be using my PRS S2 Evertune into the Fireball IR and then out to my Fractal FM3. I've got a little bit of delay and reverb loaded up on this Fractal FM3 patch so that I can do some clean and lead stuff later on in the video. For now though, let's hear what it sounds like on the high gain channel unboosted with pretty much all of the knobs at noon other than the noise gate. This is starting out on a pretty thick sounding tone, but we can tweak this with the active 3-band EQ section. I'm going to just sweep through these quickly and see if I can find some sweet spots for this. I found myself really enjoying this pedal with the bass just cut back slightly and the mids and treble boosted. Let's hear what it's like now that we've tweaked the 3-band EQ up at the top, and then we'll get into the presence control. It's still sounding a little bit dull to me, so let's see what we can do with the presence shift. Again, I like this one just pushed up a hair. Then outside of that, the amp-like controls that we have are just the standard gain and volume. I'll show off the range of gain and I'll use the volume knob just to keep everything at unity. up incredibly high like this, you do obviously introduce a little bit of noise, though this pedal runs fairly quiet from my experience. We can use the built-in noise gate to counteract this. I've noticed no real tonal shift when you have this one engaged, and it stays super tight. So that's it with the noise gate maxed out. You shouldn't have really heard too much of a difference between the tone as I was turning that one up, and now it's completely silent when I'm not playing. Obviously, it's going to cut off those pinch squeals a little bit when it's all the way up, but let's dial the gain back to a normal sort of gain level and then dial in the noise gate. One thing that I have noticed is that this pedal has sort of a low-end resonance thing going on after I mute each note. I'm not sure if this is just the guitar and the setup or whatever, but it's sort of around that like 60 to 80 hertz sort of area. Anyway, let's hear some tight riffing with the gate. I'm not someone who uses a noise gate for those tight staccato genty style riffs a lot of the time, but this one is working really nicely for my needs. Now you may have guessed from the name Fireball IR, but this pedal is able to load your own impulse responses. You have 3 different slots accessible from the ENGL Fireball IR app. I'll start with the 3 stock impulse responses that we have available first though, and then I'll get into some custom ones later on. The top impulse response is a 2x12 V30 loaded cabinet, the middle one is a standard angled V30 loaded cabinet, and the bottom one is a 4x12 oversized cabinet. The oversized is of course also using the V30, these are all based on ENGL cabinets. First you'll hear the 2x12, then you'll hear the 4x12 slanted, then you'll hear the 4x12 oversize. I hope you also agree with me, but I think that 4x12 oversize is really the sweet spot for this pedal. I'll flip over to the clean channel on this pedal now, which you can do by hitting the left foot switch, and I'll show off the range of gain available on this channel. The range of gain is actually really good here. It goes all the way from a super sparkly modern clean up to a pushed sort of clean thing, maybe into crunch territory. We can get that max gain tone to growl a little bit more if I flip over to the bridge humbucker instead. This gives you a crunchy sort of thing. Now we will push it a little bit further with the mid-gain boost in the boost section later on. One thing that's worth mentioning here is that these settings all save automatically as you flip between the two channels. So if I were to tweak all of the EQ, the gain, the volume and everything on the clean channel, I could flip back over to the high gain channel and have everything set where it was already set. I've now got this one set up to switch between a super clean thing and the high gain that I had set up previously. Most of these settings are going to be linked between the two channels. The only things that aren't are the mid boost for some reason and the IR selection. This does mean that you can't switch from the clean channel unboosted to the high gain channel boosted with a single button press. You have to press both. Now let's talk about the boost switch. This essentially gives you 4 channels in total, as you can have clean, clean boosted, high gain and high gain boosted. Of course this boost is going to fare a lot better under high gain, but we will try it out on the clean channel first so that we can hear what it's doing. It's boosting the mids and it's boosting the volume without adding any real saturation at all. It's a very, very clean sounding boost. It doesn't feel tube screamery at all like you would expect a lot of these built-in boosts to sound like. Instead, it's more of a transparent clean boost. Let's turn the gain up on the clean channel and hear the boost before we go into the high gain for this. Okay, so this is the gain maxed out on the clean channel. I've got the boost set up as well. There is no volume control on the boost, so it just is what it is. Now let's hear it through the high gain channel. I have to say, I'm definitely not a fan of how this boost sounds on a rhythm tone at least. I think it'd serve a lot better for singing lead tones, for instance. I think the button on the unit may have been better as an alternate setting button, so that you could have 2 presets per channel rather than a channel and a boost for every channel. Now let's get into loading in some impulse responses. Of course, I work for ML Sound Lab, so I'm going to be picking 3 different ML Sound Lab IRs to load up into the unit. You have 3 different cap slots available, you can overwrite them, and you can also remove the IR to revert back to the stock IR. I want to represent a wide range of cabinets, so in slot 1 I've loaded up the Reflex Damon pack, in slot 2 I've loaded up the Mega Oversize, and in slot 3 I've loaded up the Mars TV Steep Mix. Let's dial in a tone for one of them and then flip between the 3 and see what works. The audio you're going to hear these cabinets is Reflex, then Oversize, then Mars TV. Let me know in the comment section down below which one of these is your favourite. I now just want to dial in a couple of tones for each channel, one low gain and one high gain. Let's start out on the high gain channel, but we'll do a low gain sort of thing with it. Also throw on some reverb and delay and the mid boost and try and get a lead tone going. I'll engage the mid boost partway through the clip so that you can hear the difference it makes in both volume and tone. Switching over to the low gain channel of the Fireball IR now, I'll switch to the neck pickup split for this and we'll do some nice ambient clean tones with the delay and reverb again from the Fractal FM3. Bumping things up a touch, we'll have just a reverb on and we'll go for the bridge humbucker. We'll go for an emo sort of rhythm thing here. We've got the gain set to the point where it just starts to purr when I dig in hard. Other than that, it remains fairly clean. There will be one little sneaky playing clip towards the end of this video, but now it's time to get into a conclusion. The first thing I need to mention here is that this is a sponsored video, as ENGL have sent me out this pedal for review purposes. As always, I encourage you to make up your own mind based on the tones you heard in this demo and the features that you've seen that are available. Personally, I feel like this pedal absolutely rips, and I think this one's going to be a big success. It's immensely versatile and there's a ton of things you can do with it, and it sounds fantastic to boot. The gain is pretty perfectly suited to all things metal and hardcore, and it captures that ENGL thing perfectly. It works really great, I'd say, for any genre that requires a pinch squeal. The boost was kind of a letdown though. I feel like this was maybe a weak point of the pedal. I was expecting a amp tightening boost, something like a Tube Screamer or a Fortin 33 style thing, but instead we've got more of a clean solo boost, which isn't really my jam, but I can totally see why people would want that. It does expand the range of tones available on the pedal, and I'm sure it would cut out an extra pedal from some players' rigs. The gate I have found to be nothing short of incredible. It's a really nice tight sounding gate, and it sounds super clear all the way up. I really like that you have a full usable range on it, unlike something like the Fortin Zool, that you're only really able to turn the threshold up to about halfway before it starts choking off your guitar. Don't get me wrong, I totally see why that approach is necessary sometimes, for guitars with high output pickups for instance, but this pedal really nails it. All of the extra features available in this pedal, such as the mid boost and the noise gate for instance, are geared towards the high gain channel of the pedal, which I understand is going to be a big market for this, but I would have liked to have seen a compressor on the cleans instead of a boost. They have packed enough features into this that I can't really complain though. I found the EQ controls on this a little bit weird to work with, but I didn't really find myself needing to stray from the settings that I'd set at the beginning of the video, with the bass just cut back slightly and the middle and trebles pushed up. I personally wouldn't really turn the bass control on this pedal up past about halfway for pretty much anything that I play. That said, I'm not saying that there are no use cases for this. It may be different when you run it through a different setup, such as running into the front of a clean amp for instance, or if you're running it into a power amp and cabinet. Also, if I can get good tones out of it no matter what, then I don't really care where the knobs are set. If all they need is a tiny little tweak from Noon, then that's great. It's fine, it's perfect. This would fit really nicely onto a small pedal board build. I think there are only a couple of other things you would need, such as a tuner, maybe a compressor for the cleans, and a reverb or delay or something like that for lead tones. There are a few other little setups that I'd like to try out with this pedal, but not for this video. This video is already plenty long enough. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more with this one, because I would love to run a fuzz pedal into it, and I'd love to run it through my real 4x12 using the orange pedal baby as a power amp. Now for the final tone demo. I mean, this had to happen, right? Let's hear what this is like. Thank Thank you ever so much for sticking around to the end of the video, I do really appreciate it. If you would like to purchase this pedal for yourself, there will be an affiliate link in the description box down below. While you're down there as well, drop a comment letting me know what you thought of this pedal, and especially what you think of it with the Hello Kitty Stratocaster. Until next time though, I've been Kai.